Midnight Ramen is a minimally edited, live recorded podcast that takes place at midnight. Although Michael may not be consuming food, it's time to get your bowls out. It's chow time.
But I'll come back to you. Break stride, sailing me. Free falling, choose my enemy. Free from the things you say. It will all come back someday.
Good evening, gamers and other folks alike. You know what is up. It's midnight here again. You are listening to Midnight Ramen with me, Michael. Hope y'all are doing okay. If you want to watch this live, you can go to twitch.tv/MeltsLurk Original, all one word, where you can watch this live and the after show happen live. You can interact with the chat and do stuff in there. And you can, if you miss it, because, you know, that's highly likely, highly probable, you can still watch the VOD for up to 2 weeks on Twitch until it goes away. It perishes into the void. Because that's a thing. But if you like, oh damn it, I missed that window, well, you can go to YouTube where you can watch all of the episodes, not only this one, you can watch all of them. I mean, they're edited. That's kind of what I do in the after shows, edit it and put it into YouTube, and eventually maybe other stuff, into other things. I think the plan, I've already talked about it the past couple of episodes, but I think the plan is to probably just do it at 100 when we get to 100. I think that's probably the way to go, and then just go from there. I don't know if I'll start again. I don't know if I'll start fresh. I literally did not plan or think of anything off that, whatever. And we're still at square one. We've been at square one for about longest time, so, to the point that it's just basically pushing like one of them, like a football player, pushing that dummy back, just pushing back, and that's it. Waiting to actually do something with it. But I hope y'all are doing good. Also, on my YouTube channel, I post other videos I haven't done. Another thing I haven't thought of is what video I'm gonna do this week. Because I post, well, at least for this year. I feel like after this year, I'm gonna probably stop doing weekly videos and actually do not consistent, but try to put out better, more I don't want to say better, but more quality videos. Better ones, maybe more consistent, at least in quality, I would say, because I feel like the week doesn't give me a lot of time to think of anything, plus with the job, and then not paying attention to other priorities. Just by the time I get around to it, I'm just I'm spending a day to make a video, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's gone. And it probably won't do well. Maybe sometimes it does do well, but other times not so much. And I just need to keep it up. This past one, I don't even know what I did on this past one. I kind of want to check. You know what? Let's check. Let's check on my, it's frozen on my Twitch thing. Hold on. I don't see it. Let's go to, I'm going to check my YouTube. I'm going to make sure that I have my tab muted, because I don't want to whatever, but I kind of want to see what my recent thing is. It's only at 24, and I put it out 6 days ago, and honestly, I put some decent work into it. Into the 24 All-American Dews, 3 Mountain Dew flavors all at once, new flavors for the 4th of July that are actually, you got a variety. I'll say that. I don't want to spoil the video because I want people to actually watch it, but you get a variety. But crazy though that it's at what it's at. Because honestly, for the amount, like I didn't put a whole ton of work into it. But I mean, the most work I put into it was actually getting them. Because goddamn, I had a lot of struggle getting the blue one. Because when I initially got the first two, I'm like, oh shit, it's just two. And the blue one is very deceptive because it looks very similar to Voltage, and it's not. And the label is not very, like, you don't usually see the label of it saying, oh, it's this one. So it's like, fuck, I don't know. So eventually, by the time to get to it, by the time I was hunting, I didn't see it, and it could have probably been there or just hidden. So it was like a sleeper agent, like, and it's right next to the Voltage. So it's like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if that's the right flavor. I don't know if that's the Voltage. I don't know if that's supposed to be the one that I'm supposed to be getting. But yeah. I don't want to spoil anything more about that. Also, this past weekend was Father's Day. I hope if respect your fathers and all that, and fatherly figures. If you don't have a great fatherly figure in your life, I hope the best for you. I pray for the best for you. But yeah, I love my dad. And he's the kind of guy that's like, oh, I don't want any gifts. I don't want any gifts. But then the minute he gets gifts, he's like, yeah. This is sick. Went out and got pizza and stuff like that. Went out to get pizza at this one local place. That's pretty good. Also with one of my uncles too. I'm drinking Dad's cream soda because I went to the candy store this past week. Dad's stuff is pretty good. And that's the reason why I was talking about my dad, but like, you know, I love the candy store. Like, I'm a root beer connoisseur because of the candy store, the Yellow Barn in Minnesota. I love that place. I mean, although you have to be using cash, like when I was in high school, and even like when I was a driver and even in college, whatever, like it was a good thing because it was a place to use my tips from driving when I was a delivery driver, because I had cash. I didn't have to use like an ATM or go to the bank. I already had cash. And even when I went this past time, it's like I already had it. So, duh. And it's not like they don't have one. They have an ATM there, but still, you know. But it also helps with like the purchase area, like spending control and stuff like that. Although it is very easy to spend a lot of money there. Very easy. Because I usually get the 24 pack of like sodas, like, and those go like $1.49 a bottle at that point. And it can add up. It can really add up quickly if you're not careful. And and also you got to know what stuff you're getting there, because, oh yeah, this looks so special and so new. It's like, but you can also get that somewhere else. You can also get that same thing for cheaper somewhere else. And it's knowing the prices and stuff like that. Knowing like, oh, this is an imported item that stores don't have. Do that. Or if it's like a special like Lay's chip that they don't have here, like from Japan, or like, know what you're getting. That's a big tip for going there. Like, don't get fucking Skittles like I did one time. Because you'll be ridiculed like I was. Because, whoops, I wanted Skittles. But also other stuff from the candy store. So they can fucking shove it. They can shove it. Because I got some other stuff from there. Yeah. But my dad, though. So here's one story. I feel like I've already told this story before. But one story that I have about my dad. Or me and my dad. Back in Arizona. And this was kind of more in the later years of me being there. There was this pizza store. I think it was called Eats a Pizza or something like that. And it was a decent pizza place. I mean, it had like pizza that had ice cream for some reason, and it had like an arcade and stuff like that. It was okay, but the one there did like a meet and greet with a local, like a Hall of Famer that was down there, and it just so happened to be Harmon Killebrew, known to Minnesota Twins baseball legend. And so there's an image, there's a picture of me, my dad, and Harmon Killebrew like sitting there, or like sitting at this pizza restaurant that we just have, and like we got him to sign a bunch of baseballs and stuff like that, which will come up later in the story in a second. But I think we were the main ones there sitting with him the entire time, and like he was a cool guy. I mean, from what I remember, I was a freaking kid. You know, but I know my dad was definitely gushing over that he was meeting one of the greats that, you know, he loved when he was a kid. Like, he got to see him play and stuff and all that. That's pretty, like, that, I know that's exciting for him to meet one of his heroes, or, you know, although I think he's met quite a few from like for like WWE-esque wrestling. That's a whole can of worms that I can open up about like Minnesota stuff and like the professional wrestling that it could get into, but that's not the time and place. You could get into it in a second, but not now. Let me continue on the story. So we were, you know, we sat there basically the whole time, and so I get ice cream. We head out, and we got a bunch of balls, and we were gonna give them to my baseball team, my little league baseball team, give them to each player. I mean, I feel like we still have one of our own, but on the way back, I was eating ice cream because I'm a dumbass kid, and guess where my ice cream was? Right over the baseball. So my dad just stopped me from eating the ice cream over the baseballs, kind of like got me out of the way. But because he was driving, he swerved and hit like a lamp post or something. And I don't remember that. I legitimately do not remember that. I think he's lying on that part, but I do remember like going there. I remember everything that happened there, but I do not for the life of me remember the ice, like going home. Although I vaguely feel like I remember it and I know where it was, but I also don't remember it that well. Cause I think we would have been heading east, almost immediately out of there. And I think we like swerved to the right, I believe. But I honestly do not remember us hitting anything and crashing the car. But I think the balls were safe. I believe. I don't remember. I think though, we still have the one of the ones he signed. I just don't know where. It's somewhere. But especially with like now that he's, you know, gone, and like he has like a big root beer brand, it really does say a lot to have a baseball with his signature on it. Yeah. But some more, actually going back to the thing about wrestling, Minnesota back in the day was a very big place for professional wrestling. You had any guy trained by Vern Gagne, instant just hit. Any properly trained guy by Vern Gagne was a good professional wrestler. You just know. I think big ones are like the Road Warriors, who say they were from Chicago. No, they were from the Twin Cities. Brock Lesnar isn't, I don't think. But there is one of the WWE now who's like 22. Like she's like 22, and she begged to be taught by I think Werner, his son, or something like that. And yeah, she's doing good. She's doing real good, apparently. But a lot of them too were just built back in the day. And Minnesota's a pretty big wrestling, state because it's cold and it's just a place for it. You had a lot of big guys there, and a lot of them were bouncers, and even my dad knew a lot of them back in the day. And also because of Navy stuff and, Navy guys drinking. Yeah, that old chestnut. That old chestnut. But yeah. A lot of good wrestlers. A lot of good professional wrestlers came out of Minnesota. A lot of them. I don't know if Iron Sheik wasn't. I'm just trying to think of some, but I'm like literally blanking. I don't know. Like, I just don't recall. And I think Minnesota is also another, like, similar to how California had Arnold Schwarzenegger as a governor. Minnesota had Jesse Ventura as a governor, which is wild, but freaking sick, dude. Like, regardless of politics and whatever you want to say, that's fucking hilarious and awesome at the same time, because you have a pro wrestler just as your governor. Like, that's like that's instant bragging rights. And I mean, him and Schwarzenegger were in the Predator, so yeah, two of the guys from Predator became governors. Isn't that weird? Yeah, I just thought about that. That's two of the people that were in that movie became governors. Or the original Predator, I should say. The one in Vietnam. I watched that recently at work one day. It was a little while back. But it's a good movie. But like obviously the later half, it's just Arnold Schwarzenegger just trying to not die. But some of the deaths from the team, his squad, were just like absolutely stupid. Like, my brother in Christ, what are you doing? Or, I think there was like a girl that hostage girl or whatever that they had brought along. I think she just disappeared. Right after, and it's my bad memory if I forget, but she just disappears after, just runs off or something after I think the last guy, or second last guy, I don't know, that was standing on the bridge, or the wood, basically a fallen tree bridge, and basically like shooting sporadically just so get the Predator's attention. It's like, my brother in Christ, you can do this a lot more efficiently. Like, give him a fight or something. But no, it's like, I'm just gonna shoot and see what happens. It's like, man, you're dumb. Stupid. You stupid. Yeah. Yeah, Dad's soda. I feel like Dad's soda is hit or miss, because, or for root beer especially. Because either you get something that's really, 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 really good, or one that's god awful. Usually it's really good, but it's like I don't want to say 1 in 9, like an 80% chance it'll be good, and then like a 20% chance it'll be just like meh or bleh. and it's kind of random. But when it does hit, it's really good. It's really good. I don't know if I would. I don't know in terms of like ways for like root beer. I think I've already talked about how root beer I prefer it from the fountain or like made. I definitely A&W because it's the best. From a can or a bottle, a can. Can is a coin toss because I feel like A&W is pretty good, but also mug does has some pretty good can stuff. I'd say plastic mug takes the cake because yeah. But I bottle Dad, like, of the main stuff. I think Dad's is the best, or just main ones. I mean, there's obviously better, but like of the ones that you would easily can find, I think Dad's is the best, just hands out. But also for plastic, but the 2 liters A&W mug, A&W has good two liter bottles. I can't really say the same about mug. Mug is good in the plastic single cans, like small ounce or smaller ounce cans, and metal aluminum cans. But everywhere else, I think it's not as great. Although I love that one guy on TikTok. It was like, I can't remember his name, like Chieftain or something like that. It starts with a C, and kind of along that line, but it's not. Root beer. Pokemon cards. Root beer. And I think he's like trying to open Pokemon cards and he gets a Charizard, and I think he nearly breaks character, but then kind of doesn't, but also does because holy fuck, he cracks open a Charizard, which is incredibly funny. You know what's also crazy is how older Pokemon cards are. Like I hate the atmosphere that Logan Paul and all of the fucking bullshit that was brought up and made popular by the 2020 events of like making card collecting just huge. I hate that. I hated it. It's not good for the not good for the card environment. Yes, we need, like, now it's hard to get cards graded. It's like a lot harder because now you have to wait a lot longer for people to get through the fucking queue, and nobody likes that. Because then you get people that are like, oh, I'm going to send in this absolute trash card to get graded as a 1. It's like, no shit. But then you get people that are like, I'm sending my whole collection to get graded. I need everything. Brother, stop. Like, I'm fine with my Magic cards the way that they are, but like, some of them are scary good. However, we're talking about Pokemon cards. I'll get back to Magic in a second there, but I had like some, like the Rayquaza EX cards, or even the regular Rayquaza cards, are absolutely freaking bonkers in price. I mean, it makes sense because Rayquaza is really good, period. But those cards are expensive. Like I have a couple of the EXs, and I think the lowest one is like 160. I was looking through my collection like about a month ago, and I nearly had like just like a heart attack, just like seeing some of the cards that we had that are worth like a shit ton of money. I'm just like, damn, Daniel. It's crazy though. It is. It's crazy. Some of the stuff that we had that are just like, oh, yeah, you got like a $20 card here, just the $40 card here, whatever. You just have a couple $100 cards in there. I think I had the Rayquaza and the Deoxys from the Deoxys GX or EX set, whatever. Both of those together are worth like $400, about a little over. I mean, I'm obviously near mint condition or good condition. I don't know. And I feel like we treated our cards well enough. They're not like curling, centering, whatever. I feel like they were better about centering and making sure the print of the cards were good back in the day, but who knows? But still, a lot of those cards from that are like a lot. It's cool that they are, but also at the same time, it's like I don't want to have people that like it's not worth it if you want to like be a card collector or player. If say you want to crack open packs from a set from like 10-15 years ago and the highest pull doesn't even make like for a single pack, we're doing an exaggeration, like say a single pack is $15 for it and your best hit is $10. That's not worth it, in my opinion. And I don't like that sort of stuff. And I feel Pokemon, even Magic is there too, but Pokemon has that quite a bit because you have like Sky Ridge, you have like all of the like later end sets that are like, yeah, this is not worth it. And even as you go further back to like to the original like base set, there's just a lot of cards that are not worth that price, and they are not gonna like the prices of them are not worth even a single pack for the cards that are worth it. And you still have cards that are worth like pennies in those sets. Yeah, they're not all like, oh, $20 for Caterpie. It's like, no. There's no reason that it would be that. But then again, that's the card market. Speaking of card market, we're going to open some Magic cards. You already, if you know, you already know the business. We already know what we're doing. Let's get to it. So I'm going to roll a dice, phone a friend, roll a dice. We got fucking 8 packs. Gonna open 3. I'm probably not gonna open up a collector's because I kind of don't want to, but if we end up doing it, whoops. I'm not doing both of them though, because that's not happening. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 1. So these 2, and what is the last pack? 2. I'm gonna redo that. If I get a 2, then I am gonna open it. If not, 6. But the 6 does make sense. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It wants me to open one. You know what? Let's do odds evens. So I am opening one of the collector booster packs. Whoops. So odds on that little first one, evens on the second one. So odds. So these 3 packs are the ones I'm opening tonight. I have 5 packs left? I mean, I'll probably get some more. I'm thinking what I'll probably do is end up getting some Wild of a Drain packs, because I feel like out of the recent sets, those have definitely retained their value, and they still have a lot of good stuff in there that not only do I want, but that are just good in general. Like the Ristic Study. Polaristic Study, that's going to be very good. And also, I feel like it's going to synergize with the Bloom Burrow pretty well, potentially. But I'm not sure, though. But we'll see. First pack. Feels feel like I didn't do the pack trick right. Blood Hunter, Cunning Coyote, take up the shield. Yeah, I didn't do it right there. Holy cow. Focus Peddler, Vermint, a lonely thingy. Ooh, Trash the Town. Foil. A Journey to Nowhere. Ooh, Annie joins up. That's not too bad. Then Gold Rush. And then Magebane Lizard. Alright. Let's pack one. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, flip. We got a boombox. We got Return the Favor. We got a Scale Storm Summoner. Prairie Dog. Outlaw's Fury. Take up the shield. Oasis Gardener. Lone Shark. Outlaw Medic. Reckless Lackey. We got. Ooh, what's this one? Ooh, the Bones joins up. Swampy. Ooh, nice. Insatiable Artifice. Foil. Fling. On the end, Annie Flash. Okay. I feel like she should be better, but she isn't. Which sucks. But hey, literally Annie joins up, then Annie. That's kind of funny. That is kind of funny in the pack order. But I think I got everything that I wanted from this set except for like Jace and Microsynth. The not Microsynth. The whatever synthesizer. I can't remember what it's called. Something synthesizer. Oh wait, yeah. I think it's got a one. Okay. So flip land. Mobile Homestead. Longhorn Sharpshooter. Outlaw Stitcher. Holy cow. Dance of the Tumbleweeds. Steer Clear. Explosive Derailment. A Mercenary Token. Val the Mighty. Ooh, Contagion Engine. Okay. Nice. Forger's Foundry. Add blue mana. You spend this mana to cast an instant or sorcery spell with mana 3 less. You may exile this spell instead of putting it into its own graveyard if it resolves. Oh, and then you can be cast any number of spells from among that without paying their mana cost. That's actually pretty nice. You can pull that off. Colossal Rattleworm. Terminal Agony. And then Salvage Smash. It's not that great, honestly. Yeah, kind of a... if you ask me. Although... Outlaws of Thunder Junction, I love the themes and like the thematicness of the set, the cowboys and whatever. Man, it is not holding up in value at all. And it has 3 sheets, like bonus sheets to go off of, which is buck wild. Or like 2 or 3, something like that. And it's not even retaining that value. Yuck. I mean, there's some good cards from it. But then again, is there? And you know, rounding the corner, I forgot to mention why this episode is happening later. This is happening on a Friday instead of a Thursday. That's because I was... Okay, so the crazy story about why this is late. So on Sunday, I get a call from my boss, and he's like, "Hey, one of the coworkers got into a car accident. He got rear-ended and is in the hospital. Hey, are you able to run this event, which goes Monday through Thursday? I'm like, all right, I can do that. So I was like, I'll help out. And I made a promise, because if this, like, as long as this happens weekly, it's fine. Like, even if it's of a different area, whatever, it's fine. Or not a different area. If it's, as long as it's, during this time, during the week, it's fine. Normally I wouldn't do, change whatever, but if I have to, I have to. As long as I have a good notice of it, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with changing my schedule. So what was I doing? So that happens. I'm teching and all that stuff. And then on Wednesday, another one of my coworkers gets into a car accident. It's like, what the fuck? I'm like, oh, I should go to the card store today, but it's like, I kind of don't want to risk getting into a car accident. And luckily enough, when I went to it earlier today, that didn't happen. So hopefully I'm safe. And luckily, the following week is not as busy or hectic as some of the other weeks, because if it was, we'd be fucked. Because we have at least, one of the guys that got into the later car accident, it's very minor, but from what it sounds like, but he is like one of the furthest people on our team, which is crazy. And then we have two people that live in the cities that are taking the bus to get to work, and then having to rely on that schedule and all that stuff early in the morning. Yuck. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. And plus, man, I'm fine with public transportation, but the planning and scheduling around public transportation for work absolutely sucked. Because I remember when I was working up at the station, I'd had to do that during the summer a little bit, and even a couple times during the winter too, where I didn't have a car or couldn't get out of my driveway, and I just had to take the bus and like kind of more or less walk/run to the station from the bus HQ. And yeah, that was like at least a mile to get there. It felt like. Oh, it was about a mile, I think. But that I had to do that a couple times, and one time I came like I almost didn't make it to a show because like I got in like I can't remember exactly how long it took me to get there. Like I was supposed to be there at like 2 something. I got there like 30 minutes before the show was supposed to, like 20-30 minutes before the show was about to start. This is during the winter too. And I was like just soaked with snow because I was trudging through it. It was like, man, that was crazy. I miss those days working there, but I also don't miss doing that. Having to do that, having to get there too was nuts. Or like that was absolutely bonkers. And that specific time is because I fucked up the bus schedule, and it was freezing. So like I felt like I almost got hypothermia in my fingers because I couldn't feel them. And I just missed the bus to make it, and I could have gotten in so early into work. And it was just like, and I couldn't get and the reason that I had to use the bus that day was because not my car, but another one of the tenants at my apartment building, they got their car stuck and I just didn't have the time to move. So I was like, shit. They like marooned themselves in the snow and like they had to get like a tow to get it out or plow or something. I was just like, man, that sucks. And I think someone drove me home afterwards because, yeah, the buses didn't run. I don't remember what I did then. I actually do not remember what I did then. I think I didn't walk home that day because it was freezing. I think someone did give me a ride though. Man, I hate winter. Personally, I hate winter. Not because of like, cold keeps out the riffraff. Or that's when good old Fargo saying, cold keeps out the riffraff. But man, is it a pain in the ass when it's freezing out and there's snow everywhere and you can't get it. Like you have to prepare yourself to leave. Ugh. Like I hate that. In this summer, you just hop in your car, maybe blast some air and you're good. Like, yeah, you may be sweating, but you're not watching your car like die. You're not waiting on your car to get warmed up and ready to go. It's like, no, your car is at temperature. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Like, I hated that. Absolutely hated that. And what was it? I think, yeah, now that I think about it, all my cars are freaking silver or gray/silver, which is cool. Because my first car was was given to me by my sister, just kind of as a hand-me-down, and I called that the Milano, and then my second car was called the Boat. I think this one's called the Chariot. Now that I think about it, it's silver, so I'm calling it Silver Chariot. But I think the Chariot is probably in better theme because goddamn, it rocks. I like being in a car that's like elevated, not like a truck elevated, but like higher up, because I like being able to see my surroundings better. Although if a kid decides to, take a freaking nap right in front of my car, like, I'm not going to see that shit. Like, I don't even think in a car you would probably see that. But, like, if a kid decides to, like, oh, I'm just going to lay down right in front of the car. Yeah, duh. But they're not, it's not that. What am I talking about? It's like an SUV I'm driving. I love it. It's not the most fuel efficient or whatever, but it runs. I love it. And also because I started shaving. I've been shaving quite a bit. I shaved just yesterday. Yeah. I already feel like I'm back at where it was like right before. And that was like the last time I shaved before that was when I actually did shave, or maybe a cleanup the day afterwards. So it's been about a little over a week since I like shaved for that video. And yeah, it was for the video. But man, that was crazy. Yeah, I try to go and something to talk about. I have a lot of stuff actually to really talk about, too. I'm gonna try. I already finished my regular drink, so I got this energy drink that my girlfriend got me. Does it actually say what flavor it is? Because I know it's. I don't think it says what flavor it is, but it's like grape. I think it's grape. Does it say? No. Why would it say that? Oh, right there. Kind of tastes like cabbage or a salad. Or that's probably because I had the cream soda. That's probably why. But earlier when I like got it out of the fridge and it was cold, oh man, that was good. That's one thing I do in the morning whenever I go to work, or if I have work, like breakfast at work. So I always get a kickstart, and from the fridge, and usually they're cold, but sometimes they're not. And if they're not great. But the cooler they are, the better they are, because I will like down them pretty quick if they are cold. But once they start warming up, I'm like, I'm starting to question my sanity and why I got this. And even the food at the cafeteria too is like, sometimes I question why I even got it. Oh, but like some of the choices they come up with are just like absolute buck wild. Because some days you have like just the banger mainline food, and then banger sandwich, banger pizza, all of it just bangers. But then it's followed by just who asked meals. Like, who wants tilapia on sourdough? Yippee! With guacamole. Whoopee! Like, what? Like, I feel like that kind of a sandwich is just so white. Like northeastern, like white. Like in between New York and Boston, white. And maybe past that, just straight up like, who goes directly for this? I don't get it. Personally, I just don't get it. Oh my god. Starting to sweat in here. Getting sweaty. Oh! Okay, so another story about my dad, or just in general about life in Arizona and stuff like that. So, me and my sister wanted to get a dog, and we were begging our parents to get a dog for a while. When we were like, I think it was like 6 or 7. And they're like, okay, yeah. So we looked for a while. There was like a dog kennel not too far from my dad's work. If I remember correctly, it wasn't too extremely far in Phoenix. And that was the main place that we looked at. And I don't remember seeing the specific dog that we got, but I remember coming home after school care, because both of our parents worked, and by the time our dad got home, it was like 5 o'clock, and that's around the time that he usually picked us up from after school care. And he drove us back home. We pull into the driveway. We get out of the car, and then all of a sudden, another car, like black car, comes pulling up to our driveway. Not like in our driveway, but like to block it off. And then the back door opens, and then out comes a dog. And both me and my sister kind of like freaked. Because, like, what a surprise. And that's this like little yellow and kind of brown Chihuahua dachshund just walks out. And like, yeah, surprise. That was Pikachu. We didn't name him that. Although we were into Pokemon slightly, like kind of around that time. I think we were starting to really get into it. It wasn't too deep. I think too deep in our obsession with Pokemon that we got Pikachu. But it was kind of in it. We were in it, I think, at that time. And then 3 months later, like a month or so, month, two, whatever, 3 months later, we come home. We're at home. My mom's, it's me, my sister, and my mom. And we get a call from my dad, and he's like, hey, bring Pikachu. There's this other dog. You gotta see. We gotta get him. And we bring Pikachu there, and I don't fucking know this. It's like Boston Terrier Pug. We don't fucking know. We still to this day do not know what kind of breed he was. And we were like, oh, let's bring him here so that we could see how they interact with each other. And we got there, and it was like kind of weird. And we're like, really? But then we brought him home. Well, actually, we brought him in separate cars, I think. And I was in the car with the new dog, and he was like running around, like kind of panting. And Pikachu wasn't too bad in the car. I personally, from what I remember at the time, at least, like he wasn't too bad. Eddie though, he was. I think a little bit it was on Pikachu, like riling him up, but at the same time, I feel like he just wasn't really great with cars. Although on longer trips, he was a lot more calm than Pikachu was. He was on, like, I feel like he was. Man, now I'm thinking about him again. Damn, they were our childhood dogs. Eddie was older, so we passed away first. And Pikachu, when was he born? He was like in 2003, 2002. I'd have to look. But Eddie was about my age. I think he was born around 98, 99. And I think Pikachu was 2002, 2003. Wait, he was 19. Yeah, so 2002. Yeah, that's about right. Pikachu was actually born on April 1st. That I do know. Eddie, we don't fucking know. There was a lot of mysteries and things that we didn't know about Eddie. We were just like, whatever. I think he was in August. I mean, not in August, an October birthday. I don't recall. I think we do actually know his birthday, but I don't remember it. It was, whatever. But Eddie was a weird dog because, like, even like when he got older, like he had some just weird tendencies. Like around food, he'd get like, he'd like whine, or like he was a fucking hound. Like you left a sandwich around on the table, it was gone before he came back. Like he would do it. He would take that. He would eat that sandwich fast as hell. Like you had to be aware that you had food, and make sure that he didn't get to it, because he would just take it. Yeah. But like when he was getting older, and he had this, like, I want to call it like a buffalo trot. Like he would lift his paws up when he would walk, and he would always like crash into things or like get in between the chair legs and just like get kind of caught. And like he like whimper and cry for help. And then you get him out of there, and then he spins around and goes right back in. It's like, really? But I think what eventually happened, the final nail in the coffin, not sorry to be grim in this part, but the final nail in the coffin, I think his leg slipped. I think one of the like floor things for the vents was like off, and I think that could have been from him, that could have been from some other situation, but I think he fell in a little bit, or like his leg fell in and he got a scratch from it. And I think that because that injury didn't really heal that well, because he was old. He was old. That just did him in. And Yeah. And I remember because that was also my freshman year of college, and I'm grateful for my pals back at that time because I'm like, guys, my dog is being put down, and they had a moment of silence, and I'm grateful that they did that for me. And I think it was because of Eddie that I feel like at the time, for the longest time, like I had that like macho mentality of like not crying or not showing that emotion. And even with like Eddie, I wasn't the closest with him because like I kind of pranked on him because like, but not like in a mean way. I feel like, but he was kind of my dog, but also really, he was the family dog. But between the two, Pikachu was more aligned with my sister, and Eddie was more aligned with me, I guess. I don't know. And that got me back on the feeling full emotions train. Yeah, it's not a sign of weakness to cry. It's not. It surely is not. And then Pikachu, he also passed away in November 1st of 2021. The story with him, he's just old. Like, oh, fucker was old, and he wasn't eating, he wasn't drinking, he wasn't going outside to pee. And of course, with both dogs, on their way to the kennel before, on the way to the vet before to be put down, both of them fucking knew that they were going to be put down. So on their way out, they pissed all over the person bringing them there. So for Eddie, my dad just got soaked. Absolutely. I don't know if he was in the car or if we had him in a separate seat, but and it was a short ride too. Like Eddie just let loose. And then with Pikachu, both my mom and my sister like took him, and before they left, I think my mom called and she was crying. Like, you couldn't tell, but she was crying. Like, wasn't like outwardly, but they were crying. And they're like, "Oh, we're about to go. Say bye." And they're like, "Oh yeah, we let him out just a bit ago." And they were like, definitely choking up. And I'm like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, "Oh, you fucking should let him out right now. Before, like, the last thing you do, you should let him out to pee." And they didn't. And so they get like 15 minutes, like 10 minutes on their drive, when all of a sudden my sister holding him just feels a great warm spread across her lap. Absolutely drenched in dog pee. Like, they were gonna go do stuff afterwards, but no, I think they went home because of it. I'm like, oh, I knew that was gonna happen. I just knew that was gonna happen. But yeah, enough dying dog stuff. Sorry about the late episode. I mean, it's not that it's late. I mean, that's the whole thing of the episode. It's not really because of it. But, whatever. As long as it happens during the week, it's fine. As long as it happens, it's fine. And same with my videos on YouTube, where you can go watch every single episode of Minute Ramen. But you can also watch it live here on Twitch. Hey, you can interact with the chat. You can watch the after show, where you can watch us all live, non-edited, things like that. Interact. You can ask questions. You can do blah, 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 blah. And you can watch me edit the episode as before it goes up. And you can watch the VOD for up to 2 weeks on there. What else? I mean, that's the main priority of going over to Twitch to watch it. I also stream other stuff as well on occasion. Same with the videos on occasion. Actually, the videos are more weekly. Streams I need to get better. I mean, not to say that I don't, but like some weeks I can stream more than I can with others. And yeah. But yeah. Thanks to Gradients for the use of their song Used to It off of the album The Call. They are finally moving into their house like this week or a couple days ago. I was looking on while I was like teching the event that I was mentioning, or this event that I was covering for, and I saw one of the guys was like near where I was. I'm like, not to be a spy or anything, but are you at the house? And he's like, yeah, I'm at the house. They finally removed the meth lab tape from the basement. I'm like, that's funny. And he's like, no, there might have been one in the basement, or at least mold or something, because there was like tapes around, like plastic wrap and tape surrounding it. And I'm like, oh, fuck. That's wild. And it's not too far away from my work, so I'm like, hey, I can go visit you guys after work some days. And yeah, I might go over there and make some videos, perchance. I don't know. But I am definitely going over there to hang out with them sometime. Because they're cool guys. I love them. And I feel like new stuff is coming out, but they're not fully moved in yet. And I'm definitely, if I have nothing going on, I'll probably help them out. I don't know. At some point. To help them get in. Because, yeah, it's the right thing to do. I already talked about all this stuff. And thank you guys for listening, doing what you do, and all that other stuff. But as I look at the time, it's not midnight here anymore. But it is midnight somewhere else. So, hear me out. It's not midnight here anymore, but it is midnight somewhere else. So until it becomes midnight here once again, I will see you later. Or you can just watch the other episodes. I'm not going to stop you. You can go on my YouTube channel. You already knew that. But until it becomes midnight here once again, I'll see you later. But, until then, bye-bye.
Well, just when I needed you, I see from a different view. Oh, baby, now don't be scared, but don't get used to it. Yeah, well, I told her I can't let go. Well, I told her I can't say no. Oh, baby, well, I was scared, but now I'm used to it. I was scared, but now I'm used to it.